BCA today says, forget the Mag 7. Quote, the trend is broadening to the pedestrian 493. What's so interesting about this note, I thought, today is that they discuss two buckets, disruptors and the disrupted, and saying they obviously prefer the disruptors. Really? There's a surprise. The disruptors, they include Palantir, Electronic Arts, Viva Systems, and Vertex Pharmaceuticals. The disrupted include Adobe. They've sort of drawn their line. They don't need to see any more proof. It's been disrupted, and therefore it's dropped into this other basket. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think relative to the conversations we had on this last week, I don't think the software trade is dead. I don't think Adobe's dead either. I'm going to reserve final judgment for the next earnings call, which I think is about 3 weeks away. We'll see how the results are, and you know, I'm not going to die on this hill. If Adobe doesn't show good results, or if it does show good results and the stock still underperforms, which has been the last few quarters, then I've got to throw in the towel just because the market doesn't care. But I don't think that. Look, every day we're using PDF files. Every day. It just doesn't seem like it's going away. Maybe there is competition out there, but I think Adobe's doing a good job of meeting the competition.
So you sold Applied Materials, which is coming off its worst week since July of 2024. So why do you come to the point where you make that call?
Because those results were terrible. The guidance was simply awful. Joe, I don't know if I saw you bristle there, but here's why I say that.
You did a little bit.
Yeah, well, okay, let me parse my words a little bit. I mean, the results were fine. The guidance was awful. The guidance came in 10% below where the street was. You can't do that. And in a sector that should be humming right now, semi-cap equipment. I mean, we're building semi-cap fabs all over the world, and AMAT just isn't doing it. And it's been disappointing. It's responded negatively to the last 6 quarters in a row. I've got a question that management didn't give any indication that it was going to be this bad going forward. It hasn't worked, and now it's not working for good reason, which is the guidance is terrible. I'm out.
It's working for Lam Research, and it's working for KLA Corp. So I do think there's something idiosyncratic about the challenges that are clearly represented in underperformance for Applied Materials for sure. KLA Corp, Lam Research, those are 2 names that we have in the ETF right now, and they are executing.
By the way, Goldman also, they agree with Jim. They're not believers in the, quote, death of software bear case either. What about Shan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge is that if you look at these incumbent seat-based software providers, they need to show that AI is going to help them to create more revenue on top of those seats. And I think that the market is sort of wait and see in that scenario. But the likelihood is that they're going to figure out, and our view is that will continue to expand to other parts of tech, but also to other sectors as well.
Palo Alto, they report today, don't they, Joe?
They do. Cybersecurity over the last several weeks is experiencing a modest correction. I think a lot of that is predicated on the belief that IT spending potentially pulls back. That's somewhat puzzling, in particular when you think about the need for the AI threat and to have that cybersecurity presence. So collectively, the group is pulled back. We're going to really need to see very strong guidance from Palo Alto to kind of restore that positive momentum.
CrowdStrike, by the way, added to the tactical underperform list. The target goes to 425 from 450 at Evercore ISI. What do you think about that call, just relative to waiting for these earnings today in overtime?
I own the name personally. The strategy recognized it had a little bit of a deterioration in the momentum factor itself and moved away from it. Before we move away from the software conversation, I want to mention one name because you mentioned it. We don't talk about it enough, and that's Viva Systems. It is a cloud-based software company in the healthcare sector that's performing remarkably well, up 44% here over the last year, delivering double-digit earnings growth. We hold it in the ETF. We don't speak about it enough. I should be talking about it more.
Intuit is this week. Zoom is this week. Oracle, Jimmy gets his price target up to 287 over at HSBC, and it's a reiterated buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the sweet spot. It's in the AI trade. It's had excellent results. The momentum is there. Joe, I don't know if this is in the Joe T or not, but Oracle, I mean, all systems go here.
Absolutely, it is, and it's been phenomenal in terms of its performance, along with names like Microsoft and Palantir. It really is leading the software, it seems like you've got this narrow performance, and it's getting even more narrow. And it's Microsoft, it's Oracle, it's Palantir, and the rest is kind of sitting on the sidelines.
I think the only thing negative we can say about Oracle is valuation, but that's not a reason to sell it. The momentum is going to trump that.